Well, hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Jay Wilson. You should subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you don't, you'd be making the biggest mistake you've ever made in your life. Enough of being sarcastic. I'm Jay Wilson. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. Remember, this is a time to remember those who have made the greatest sacrifice for our freedom. It's the men and women who put their life on the line to protect the things that we're able to do each and every day. Now, I do want to talk to you about fish I would never keep, why this is a Congo tank, how it got set up like this, and ultimately what I did to create this whole environment. So I do want to give a special thanks. I will name them one time and then that's it. I do want to give a special thanks to Sicce, Flip Aquatics, and Current USA for the amazing accessories that I was able to place on this aquarium and in the aquarium to include plants, things of that nature, lights, and filtration. And I also want to give a big shout out to Planet Aquarium here in Texas for this pretty cool 5-foot 1919 aquarium that we turned into a Congo River Basin tank. So let's talk about the fish, how we got there, what we did, and we'll do that now. Okay, so before I zoom in and give you a lay of the land, I wanted to say that in order to create a natural environment, I had to kick back my brain considerably. So when I was really working on the center portion, I had the left and right done. I took all of this stuff from the old aquarium that's to your left. And the idea was I wanted to create as natural of an environment from the Congo as I could, but this is not a true biotope. The rocks are not from there, the wood is not from there, and most of these plants could not be found from there. However, all of the fish could be found in and around the Congo River and the basin around that area. So we've got a bunch of different fish in here. We've got slender buffalo head, never thought I would keep those. We have regular buffalo head, we have Congo tetras, never thought I would keep those as well. And we have a really cool catfish, and if you can name that catfish in the comments, I will do my best to ship you out an awesome prize. So the first person that can name it in the comments, just tag me in it, pop over to Instagram, tell me what it is, and I will make sure I get that prize to you. It'll be worth it. So how did I create a natural environment? Well, I tossed it in and I let it lay. Other than placing the pieces of wood and some of the major rocks, everything else was a lay of the land. Let me show you. When I say everything else was a lay of the land, or I'm gonna give you the lay of the land, if you look at this in its splendor, because I love this tank, you can see that stuff just really looks natural, almost like it was just left there. And that's the idea. That is the way I created this aquarium. Now I'll feed them in a little bit to show you all of the fish that are in here, but I really want to highlight this second piece that I added. And the secondary piece that I added was the center. Let me zoom in and we can kind of chat about that. So the center for me is an ultimate highlight because I was really uncertain what I wanted to do. Did I want to leave it a void space or what? Now remember, this is art. It's living art. I'm not a professional when it comes to this. I do it because it's fun. But ultimately, I had the major rock there and that was it. I picked up all the other rocks. I threw in plants. I threw in some extra cutoff pieces from all of this major driftwood. And then that was it. I let it float around and sink. Then I moved it, shuffled it around, and wherever it fell is where it stayed. And then I just kind of jammed it in and threw some rocks on it. What I mean by throw rocks is I dropped them from probably about halfway up in the tank and let them go. Now the bigger river stones and some of the smaller river stones are from Universal Rocks, and I've had them a very long time. I love them, they look great, and they tie in everything. I just feel over time this tank is going to mature and it's going to give me exactly what I was predetermining in my brain for this aquarium. And it really happened all by itself. Now, let me kind of pull back a little bit to show you that most of these plants were legitimately just tossed into the aquarium and floated around for a little bit, and wherever they laid is where I planted them. So that was a very exciting moment for me as well. The other thing that's really neat about this aquarium is I was able not to use a background. Typically, I love backgrounds because they can hide some really big imperfections when it comes to hosing. But the neat part about Sicce and their whale canister filters, which we'll discuss a little bit further, is the tubing is gray, so I kind of have it hidden behind the driftwood, but their intake hoses, the stuff that sucks the water in from the aquarium to the canister, are clear. So it's a little bit harder to see them. And let me pull back so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about. They're right there. But they kind of blend in for the most part. Now the power heads are a different story because, well, you kind of need those. So let me discuss why I had to add the power heads. Now these are power heads that are controlled by Wi-Fi and or a manual receiver. So power head pushing a ton of water, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful look from the side. But the power heads controlled just like that. There they are. They control everything that happens from that power head. And I absolutely love that I have that ability because anywhere I am, I can control them. And I have two of them. There's the other one. And this is the other view. But as you can see, it really just sets off the flow in the exact manner I need, on top of utilizing two whale canister filters. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I've already done a video on unboxing them, so I don't really need to chat about them anymore. But overall, I'm just super excited about how this tank came out and what it looks like. Now, I've always said African cichlids. And when you say African cichlids, everybody thinks one genre of African cichlid, right? One genre. And what is that genre? Haps and peacocks. But is it all haps and peacocks? No, there's a ton of other water bodies that are in Africa, to include the Congo, to include Tanganyika, and I wanted to branch out. So it's not that I don't love those animals anymore, it's that I'm just fascinated by other parts of that beautiful continent. And honestly, it's a good thing. I'm expanding my horizons and keeping other fish, and it truly is giving me a new perspective on what we can do as aquarium hobbyists. So whether it's keeping Lake Malawi fish or whether it's keeping Madagascar, if it comes to cichlids, chances are it will happen in this fish room. Now I really just want to highlight this area again. I'm going to drop another kelp wafer dead center to see if I can get these guys to feed on this, but they love it. They absolutely love Northfin. Let me see if I can get it to drop in that area. The flow really takes it. It's just moving it right out of the camera. So let me try one more time right there. Woo, did it get caught? Do we got anything? Look at them all moving towards it. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. These fish are beautiful. The Congos just get better with time. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better layout of this aquarium. And tell me what you think. I'd really love to know what you think in terms of how this Congo tank turned out. But who can forget this amazing tank? This is the Tanganyika Tropheus Dardanelle tank, and then the vivariums right over here. Folks, I want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time, for watching this video, for sharing this video, and even leaving a comment, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It truly is amazing to see the folks that come out, whether it's like, hey, I really love the aquarium, or I hate your face. It honestly just kind of helps me evolve as a person, which leads me to this. No matter what we do in life, somebody's always going to have an opinion. They're like, I'll leave it to you with that old saying. Opinions are like, everybody has one. Now, whether, and I saw this before, so I'm not creating this myself, but this is the idea. If you bought a red car, somebody will say, well, you should have bought the black car. If you decided to get yourself up off that couch, take away all of that feeling of, I can't work at that place because, and you did, somebody will say, well, you could have done that, right? And it's, I saved $1,000 because that's what I needed to do. And somebody said, well, you could have saved $2,000. Now, I'm also a person that has done that to people in the past, and mainly folks that are closer to me than what it would be a stranger. But in today's world, we just say whatever it is we want, whenever it is we want, to whoever it is we want, because there's no feeling, right? There's nobody in front of us. Just like right now, I'm standing in my room in front of a camera, and what? I'm talking to you, but you're not here. So what I'm trying to get across is we have to start thinking in our mind about a cause and effect. If I say, man, you should have gotten the blue car. What if that red car was that one car that that person had been dreaming about their whole life? And that $1,000 that they saved, where you told them it could have been $2,000, that was the $1,000 they needed to get into that car. And what if that job that they took at their favorite fast food restaurant, because that is what they needed to do to get that car? Why are we so quick to judge because there is no emotion connected? But we call friends and our walls and our posting and our sharing and our tagging. But what are we really doing? Are we taking away the feeling of that emotion and we're just replacing it with dopamine and instant gratification? I'm a victim of it, you're a victim of it, and I'm somebody that does it and you're somebody that does it. But maybe we should stop and think about, people say, well, if you're gonna write that special letter, read it. When you don't have that same emotion, maybe that's what we should be doing with everything. Anything we do social media wise, maybe we should think about what it sounds like to the person receiving it. Could change a lot of stuff. And it's okay to have your opinions. It's okay to have your feelings. And the idea is not that it's not a care, it's you can do whatever it is you want to do. Just remember that there's always something tied to it. And it could be with anything. Could be you call me a fat face. I'm making something up. And I may laugh about it, but somebody else may not. Somebody else may really hurt from it. So we really have to get back to the basics of what it is to have friends, what it is to emotionally connect with people, because at the end of the day, we are community animals. We're mammals. We need community to thrive. We need other brains around us to continue to thrive. And if we continue down a path of destruction and ripping emotion and ultimately just pulling away that thought of hurt and laughter and sadness and happiness, and well, if we pull away all of those things, what do we really have? A picture that has likes? It's kind of a sad life. Thank you so much for watching. You know what's next. Holla!